I just got rich. Well, this MetaDoge 5. Yeah. If you don't got a coin in your wallet, you broke. I said what I said. Hey, my doge not like yours. My doge is the first. You are just a meme. My doge got a metaverse. My doge not like yours. Tell him I said it.
Facts. My doge not like yours. My doge is the first. You are just a meme. My doge got a metaverse. My doge not like yours. My doge is the first. You are just a meme. My doge got a metaverse. MetaDoge, 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 MetaDoge. I just struck it rich. Too much money, it can't fit in my pocket. MetaDoge, flip it, watch me hold. NFT, I got one gold. We be lit like the stove. All these paper hands exposed. That's my doge, I cannot fold. Hey, I've been trapping doge off in the metaverse. MetaDoge, history made, we did it first. I can't make this up, ain't no right rehearse. We got all the drip, we gon' quench they thirst. My doge not like yours, my doge is the first. You are just a meme, my doge got a metaverse. My doge not like yours, my doge is the first. You are just a meme, my doge got a metaverse. MetaDoge, 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 big dog, boss doge and metaverse. I bought friends, NFTs, stake them, gotta get them first. Once she dip, I buy the dip, it come up, she can get her purse. Don't you wait until it's listed, you should go and get it first. Dog, I'm certified, check my status, ask about me. We been shaking up the market, that's no lie. Ricky Bobby, they gon' duplicate and try. Roger that, copy. I'm a big dog, off the leash, chest out, cocky. My doge not like yours, my doge is the first. You are just a meme, my doge got a metaverse. My doge not like yours, my doge is the first. You are just a meme, my doge got a metaverse. MetaDoge, 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 MetaDoge. Slime to slime, I'ma put y'all on to something real quick. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put this coin in your pocket, else not you broke. Go to MetaDoge.live, that's MetaDoge.live. For real. Get you some money! LNJ, you can find me in the metaverse with my MetaDoge, you dig? It's a leak!
Welcome, everybody. It's good to see you again. Welcome back to our weekly community MetaDoge AMA that we do. And we're super excited to see you guys today. We'll go ahead and do as we always do and just give a couple updates about the project that's going on. And we'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek of some of the developments that we've been doing behind the scenes. Woo! So, I know, I'm actually really, I wish we could just skip to that part. But one of the things we do want to say is that Chinese New Year NFTs, they're gone. Completely sold out. They're completely sold out right now. You cannot get them. Has the buy button been disabled? Do we know
That's
that yet?
a great question. I don't know.
We'll have to check with Flo on that one and make sure. But if you do see a buy button for the Chinese New Year's NFTs, do not click it. They are sold out. You cannot get them anymore. It'll probably still charge you the gas fee. Yes. So make sure 100% that you are not attempting to buy those Chinese New Year NFTs.
I'm checking right now.
He is checking right now to make sure. So, on top of that, Season 2 NFTs are still available, and these are the last NFTs that will have staking rewards that are available outside of buying them from the marketplace. So, stock up on those while you can. We reduce the amount that there are in circulation because we have shifted focus over to the game NFTs and the avatars and whatnot. So,
and just so you know, I did just check. It has not been disabled yet. We will get with Flu and make sure that it gets disabled. It is still trying to charge gas fees. So don't try to buy a loot box for Chinese New Year.
Don't buy it. Also, now that I think about it, I think he said Dan might be in charge of that.
Dan might be doing it.
Dan might be in charge of that. So we got to get with Dan. Dan, if you're watching, disable that button. All right. So if you are joining us in the Telegram voice chat, that is totally fine. But here right now, we're about to show you something on the YouTube live stream that you may want to switch over to. Tyler went ahead and put that in the Telegram chat so that you can join directly from there. So without further ado, here is a screenshot from the trailer that we are developing that is done in Engine. It's going to be a part of the game. So what you are seeing right now on your screen, this is called this specific area. I guess we need to give a little bit of a breakdown for how we do it.
Why not?
So the whole encompassing of it, there is obviously the metaverse, and then within that is Meta Earth, where this lives. And within Meta Earth, where MetaDoge and all of them live and hang out, there are meta zones. And this is one of the 6 starting meta zones that exist within the game that we are building. This is Floki City, high above the clouds. You have to kind of trek up some mountains and take flight up there. But this specific city and the area surrounding it are high up in the clouds. So we wanted to give you a glimpse of kind of how this is going to look. It's going to be third person, kind of that newer gen Pokemon style that we're talking about. So if you guys have some questions about the game, as always, you could probably try to drive it out of us. I guess, do you think we could give a little bit of the other zones? You think we can give them?
I don't know. Do you think they deserve it at this point? Come on.
No.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Some of them do.
But should we?
MetaDoge does.
No.
Should we?
Could
No.
we? Yeah, I think we could do that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And Albert also said it was a good idea to cut down the supply. It definitely was. I forget who it was that mentioned that in the chat. We have been tossing the idea back and forth for a while.
I think that was Duke that really
that was Duke, wasn't it?
That really put that in there last time. And we have been mulling it over for a while. Duke really pushed it out. We got a lot of community feedback that they all supported that. So that decision was made, and it's I think it's one of the best things that we've done for the community in a long time.
I think so too. As you saw, we went from having like 70 or 80 Chinese New Year NFTs, which before, like, nobody was really buying them. But the second that they knew that they wouldn't be able to get them anymore, the same thing happened with the season 1s. And now you can't get season 1s. Like, they're rarely even in the marketplace. And when they are, they fly off the shelves if they're below like 15 million. Someone's had their rare Floki up there for 50 million for like a year. That's gonna have to lower that a little bit, my man.
Extremely tempting though.
It is, actually is. But yeah, those flew off the shelves, those Chinese New Year ones now. So they are completely gone. We're stoked about that. Because again, the season 2s that we have out there right now with the baby Doge, the baby MetaDoge, and all those, the baby series will be gone, and those are the last staking NFTs. And that is the last way you can get some passive income before this game comes out. There will not be any more. We have shifted focus to the in-game NFTs that, again, I think we did the final count on it. We're looking at like 490 unique different NFTs over like 70 different artworks with different frames and legend, all the different from standard to legendaries, ultimates. We can't really talk about that. So let's get back to exactly what we're talking about here. Sorry. So different meta zones. Yeah. This one we've got Floki City high above the clouds. There are 6 different starting ones, which gives us a great jumping off point for whenever we build this base game to be able to have expansion packs off of that. Different zones people can go to, different moves, different NFTs that we can build on and booster packs. That's kind of the mindset of being able to constantly have people coming back for more. And we're building a ton into this game to make sure that you have a ton of replayability and things that you're able to do with it. So the first zone that you start in, we won't give names for any of these zones, except for Floki City, because I accidentally said that. But we have everywhere from like the first zone, just a very standard town. You have your starting farm there where you're able to raise and breed your different NFTs to create new ones, different shops and whatnot within that city. Then you have I almost said the name, you have the forest area that you can go to. There is obviously the Cloud City one that you can go to. There is the underwater city that you can go to. Try not to give away too much. There's the island that I won't say what the elemental type is for that, to give a little bit, not too much away for the trailer itself. But we have that, and then we have the Darklands. We won't go into detail on what exactly that is, but
and this might be giving away too much. I don't know. But I think a good way to look at this is basically every island that we have has something to do with elements, right? It's all in an essence of elemental or states of matter in a way. Um, and I think that that makes it really exciting because you get a variety of different types of um, characters that we're going to have implemented in the game through the NFTs. And I'm gonna stop there because I'm about to give too much away.
Yeah, I was just because I really want to tell you guys because all of this stuff is the scope of the game is done solid in the books, carved in stone. It's there. And by the way, if you are Holistic Way bought your baby Shiba today, uh, good on you, dude. Keep doing those because again, these are the last staking NFTs. It's the last way to earn passive income because when this game comes out, which MetaDoge is going to be a part of the internal economy that's not only just going to make the price rise, but now you just have this passive income of MetaDoge you're just building just for nothing.
Well, and not only that, but we've talked about this a couple of times too, is that the idea here as well for some of the season 2 are to potentially make them transferable to where they're in-game NFTs, which means that they probably won't be staking NFTs anymore. I would say the certainty is 99.9% will not be staking NFTs anymore after they're transferred to that in-game NFT. So if that's not exciting enough, think about the impact that that has on the remaining season 2s that will be staking. That makes the value of the staking ones that much higher for those who are holding the staking, trying to sell those all in the marketplace in that sense of staking and passive income.
Exactly, and we're not even bringing up the fact that you will be able to transfer those over into the in-game NFTs. And right now, at this price point that you can get, I think 500,000 MetaDoge right now. If we're just ripping the Band-Aid off and saying it, I think that's like what, like $20 or something like that.
Yeah, it's not much right now.
It's not much.
I mean, it's a really low price point right now.
So you can sit there and roll and get all of those different loot boxes for season 2s, buy them up all you can, because when this game launches and the price of MetaDoge shoots, not financial advice, but when the price of MetaDoge goes up from the game launching and everything, you're going to have purchased pretty much in-game NFTs, because you could always just say, I don't want the staking rewards, I just want to trade them in to get some in-game NFTs. and be able to do that for such a less expensive price. So now's the time to even so pretty much think of it as pre-ordering those in-game NFTs if you want to, because we're going to give you a bridge to be able to transfer those over into in-game NFTs. So you go ahead and stock up on those season 2s now. You're pre-ordering them for a premier price. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
And honestly, if there's any value in the NFTs you're holding right now, other than staking, it's the potential for them later on. So that's what we're really looking at, and that's why we decided, along with your community feedback, which I can't underline how valuable that is to us, regardless if we pull the trigger immediately or not on what you say. It's always something that we take into consideration, because we want you to feel like we know that your opinions matter, right? We totally agree with what you're saying in a lot of ways. In some ways, we can't do it immediately, but it's not like we're not taking it into consideration. So when that whole idea of cutting the NFTs down, the total supply came up again, that I think that really hit home for us. That it's something that was being asked for by the community. We had already thought that this would be a really good idea as a dev team. The dev team agreed with all of that, and we pulled the trigger. So we've increased the value of those NFTs. We've made the potential for the increase in the value of those NFTs even better once we get to transferring over to in-game NFTs. And if anything, man, it's another reason to be excited for what we're doing.
It is. And that also brings me to a good point, because some other things that we're actually working on and have been working on. Albert asks in the chat, any giveaways or special bonuses for long-term holders in the futures? It was on the roadmap. Albert, you're damn right it was on the roadmap. And guess what the fuck we did today? we did that, and we are now in the position, now that we have everything built and the wheel built and everything, we are going to incorporate that with all of the... I'll go ahead and say it. We have a special NFT that we're going to give out for our long-term holders that have a unique amount of NFTs. I don't remember the exact numbers. We're going to release those here really soon. When I say really soon, I mean like the next couple days. This isn't like a week roadmap thing. But we're going to release those really soon to start doing those giveaways for the long-term holders as well. We just did our first one today for the whale chat. If there's any whales in here, I know MetaDoge is one, so you could probably speak to it, although he didn't win, but he was still super stoked to be there. I got to talk to Dom for a while at least. So the whales, they have theirs, which, by the way, you can still be a whale. Now is the premier time to become a whale, by the way, because the
cheapest time to become a whale.
It's the cheapest time, counting NFTs, not the staking rewards in the sense of like how much it makes over the year, but however much you paid for the NFTs, whatever you have in staking rewards that you haven't, that are just sitting there, and whatever you're holding, all counts together. You need to have 150 million MetaDoge. Now's the time to get there.
And let me just asterisk beside that how much you paid. It is the base price of the loot box. So for season 1's, 5 million. For season 2's, 500,000. Chinese New Year was 888,888. That is the amount that is going towards that. So if you pay 15 million for NFT
on the marketplace, doesn't count.
It's worth the investment. Don't get me wrong, but you're only going to get 5 million for it if it's a season 1, and the other seasons, like I just said.
Exactly, and that's what makes you a whale. So now's the time to become a whale. We still have an active whale community, so we just did a giveaway today. I wish I had in front of me the two people that won. MetaDoge probably has them melted into his mind.
I can pull them up real quick.
You can pull them up, so we can go ahead and announce those. So the winner of that got a season 1 legendary, and the second place person got an epic from season 1 that from Dom's personal collection that he had. So I apologize, I won't be able to say that name if my life depended on it.
This is the first one. Is Misk.
Oh, Misk won the legendary season 1, so Misk won on the first one.
And then the epic.
I'm gonna call you Abe. Won on the epic.
Abdel Raham. I think that I'm saying that right, but I am sorry if I am mispronouncing that.
That's the main thing. I didn't want to be disrespectful by mispronouncing it, so
I'm gonna give it a shot.
That actually sounded right.
You know that it's not out of disrespect. I'm just not.
No, that 100% sounded right.
I barely speak English,
so
I can't.
We're American. We learned English second. So one of the main things is that we are doing those giveaways. So make sure that one, you are stocking up to one, become a whale, so you can be in those giveaways. The Ruby NFTs is what they are. We already have them. We are ready to send them out. There's a lot of logistics that have to go into calculating everybody's, because there's a certain amount of NFTs that you need to be holding. I couldn't even begin to tell you. It's something like 20 season 2s or Chinese New Year's combined, up to a certain amount and everything. But you will get those NFTs, and that enters you into a monthly drawing as well. So we have all the groundwork and base level to do that. You'll be hearing more about that in the next coming days.
And we will absolutely make it more clear as to what the guidelines are for that as well, so that everyone in the community knows exactly where they fall and what they may still need to get in season 2.
I'll tell you what, I am heavily invested, but it was something where I still needed like a few more season 2s and some Chinese New Year's and something, and I literally was sitting there calculating, okay, I'm up to, I think it was like 50 million total in MetaDoge across all your NFTs, and like you had to have at least like across Chinese New Year and season 2s had to be like 20. It was like something like that.
Something like that.
Don't quote us on that. I'm just saying like that's kind of the idea behind it. So I was like, okay, I got to get a few more of these and then buy a few more of these, which I finally completed my Chinese New Year set. I was telling him right before at the deadline, I think there was 18 left, and I was like, well, I need to buy a couple more to get that fire. I got that fire. So I was pretty excited and stoked for that. Hero Electric is saying we'll hit $1 soon. I think it will soon. I don't know. We still have some time for game development, but if soon is in the next like 3 or 4 months, soon may be.
I hope so. I think we all hope so.
If soon as within a week, don't get your hopes up on that one, buddy. But it is soon in the grand scheme of thing. Again, we've been preaching this since our first AMA months ago. This is a long-term investment. This is a long-term roadmap. This isn't turn around and make a quick buck. And what we can speak to personally from, because we dabble in other cryptos as well. It's not like we're just 100% throwing it out for MetaDoge, although
even if we don't dabble, we're always watching.
Exactly.
We're always looking into other projects as well, even if we don't invest.
They all fail. They all lasted like a couple weeks that we've been noticing.
We all know that. I mean, if anybody here is a crypto investor, right? especially in the BSC space right now. You are seeing the same trend throughout almost every single project that's out there. It's a immediate pump with a dump, and then a pump, and then a dump, and then a pump, and then the third dump. People ape in because they're thinking, absolutely, that's all we've got. Like, that's all we need. Got all of the jeets, the paper hands out, and then it pumps, and then it dumps, and it flatlines because so many projects have used all of their marketing dollars to sustain those first few hours of pumps and dumps, and then they have nothing left, and the project goes sour. We've seen that countless times. I've seen that countless times in my time in crypto, and it's probably shorter in crypto than your time. So if you know it as well as I do, you know that we're holding on to these marketing dollars and using them strategically to make sure that we're not that project. The project that dies, and then you get the message inevitably that says, hey guys, we did our best, we're not going to be able to do anything else for you. Good luck to you in the future. We don't want to do that to you. We are still trying our best to make this happen. So we're not giving up on this, and we're doing everything in our power right now to give you the future of what crypto should look like.
Exactly. And we've said it on countless AMAs. If you've been here before, we're going to say it again. We are here not just for the long-term investment, but for the fact of that our game development, our marketing dollars are developing for the trailer and to market the trailer. And then we have money for the game development set aside. We need you, when we bring this trailer out, I swear to God, put it in front of every single person you possibly can. We're going to give you a kick-ass trailer to where you feel comfortable going to your friends and being like, y'all, this game is coming out. You don't even have to say it's a crypto game. You don't have to try to show them on crypto. Maybe your friends hate NFTs. We all know those people. Don't worry about doing that. I want you to be able to go to these people and say, check out this game coming out. It's kind of like Pokemon. If you enjoy those kind of games, you're going to love this game. Get them stoked about it. Get them excited about it. And then be like, oh, by the way, this is the token that they're going to be using for the in-game economy. Then you can kind of get them into that. But get it in front of us. We're going to give you the tools to put this out there because we're going to need this trailer to do very well to bring in those other holders, or else we're going to release a game that us 5 people are playing. That's not going to work.
All right.
So we bring in those investors with the trailer. We bring it in through the marketing. You bring it in through shilling it. And then sure enough, we fund the game development and we fund the marketing for the game, which is going to be incredibly important because we're going to overreach a little bit to make sure we're marketing this trailer. So if we can get those investors in there to replenish that marketing wallet to market the game, gravy. We're good.
Let me tell you, I am really not trying to overstep boundaries here, but let me tell you what my personal position on this. We are doing everything that he just said. We're going to get this in front of them. We're going to get this in front of you to get this in front of them. We are going to spend every waking moment that we have and every ounce of energy to make this work. And if it does not, then we've given you everything that we possibly can to make this successful. And I'm telling you, we're invested too. So it's not like we're just trying to sell you on this because we want you to make us money. Like, we want you to be able to make money too because you're an investor. I'm an investor. If we don't have the solidarity, if we don't have the unity in this going into the trailer, going past the trailer into the game, and we're not out there actively shilling this and putting this in the community, then we're not serving each other. And that's why we do this here. That's why we put this out here to YouTube. So anybody that has a YouTube account or doesn't and wants to go search MetaDoge, they can find us here doing this because we believe in what we're doing and we're trying our best to get you all to believe and to put out a fantastic product. And I think you are going to be pleasantly surprised by it.
You absolutely are, because we've said it from the beginning. Albert, I'm going to get to your question here in just a second. It's a great question, actually, and I'm glad that you asked that. I'm going to get to your question in just a second, but just to kind of piggyback off of that, we, as we've said before, are making a game. The fact that it happens to have crypto is secondary. We are making a game, and we have poured our heart and soul into this game, the game that we would want to play. Look behind me. You think I have all these lights just because I like to have, I like to pretend that I'm in a club VIP? You think that's why? No, I have these lights and everything because I am a gamer. I've been a gamer since I was 4 years old. I'm 33 33. Oh, damn, I just had my 33rd birthday. That made me sad.
Yeah.
So I'm 33 years old. I've been gaming my entire life. Like, we just got the ability. We were luckily fell into the position where we were able to really influence this game and the development from the ground up. And I mean, we're talking pages of notes and how we're going to do it and the damage counters and everything that goes into the game. We're making a game and crypto just happens to be involved with it. So, and that's what we want. We want to capture those gamers into where you guys start making money from people that have zero idea they're even doing it, which leads me into Albert's question. Will it be possible to play the game without having NFTs or tokens free to play? So this is a free to play game, and it is incredibly possible. Well, there's a two-part to that. It is not possible to play this game without tokens or NFTs. It is, however, possible to play this game without buying NFTs and tokens, because you are going to be gifted from the start of the game an NFT, like a starter NFT. Actually, technically, I think there's 3 that you're gifted, and then you have to earn the rest of them. But just kind of like doing the tutorial, you get like a couple NFTs. And once we're closer to trailer time, you'll have more reason or ideas as to how the NFTs play into the game itself, because it's a really unique and cool way. But we'll get to that. The tokens themselves, you get those from completing tasks, discovering things, fighting, all those things. You get those tokens. So technically, you don't have to buy any. You don't have to buy any NFTs. We have designed the economy to where it is self-sufficient, and to where, even though they're earning these, in-game currencies, they're going to be putting them back into the economy to where they're cycled back in, to where you don't, like, no one's going to be hoarding them. It's not going to feel like one that you have to pay in order to do well in it. But at the same time, it's crafted in a way to where, because nobody wants that. Nobody wants a game where they feel like they have to pay money in order to speed things up. But if it just naturally progresses that way, it's perfect. And that's what we're trying to find, that fine balance. Again, we're gamers. We know what gamers hate. We're not crossing that threshold.
Yeah, and at the end, I think that's probably one of the most difficult parts of this whole development as well, is that it's one thing to make a game. It's another thing to make a game that has a currency, that has investor ties to it. Like, your value of the coin is still important to you, as well as the importance of this game and how fun it is, how much you want to pitch it to other people and put it out in front of them, how much you want to play it. So we have to be very careful about how we, do this game, but also protect the investment that you already have and potential investment of anybody else that gets into this. So we're always looking for ideas and ways that maybe you found that in your experience that you think you could translate well. And we have the in Telegram, right? We have /proposal. That proposal comes to our marketing email. And that is something that we take seriously. So if you have something that you think is valuable to the development of this, do not hesitate to put it in there. I would suggest not putting it in the chat, because in the chat, it gets lost really, really quickly, because there's a lot that goes on. There's a lot of things that we're going to be trying to do. And to be honest with you,
it looks like spam.
It looks like spam. And the more popular we get, the more people that are going to be in that chat again, constantly posting memes and GIFs and their messages and, all of that stuff. So we don't want that to get lost. We want you to be able to have a voice. So /proposal, when that link comes up, use that to put your ideas in, and then we'll take that into consideration.
And we're always open to game ideas, just like he just said. We're always open to them, to the fact of where it was, I forget if it was sub KY or HSYN. HSMY. I don't know if I said that backwards. I apologize if I did. It's too many letters with no vowels. Yeah. Is it HSYN? Yeah. Okay. It was one of the two. Brought up a great idea. It was something that another token had done. It was a very boring game, but it was a cool concept where they did augmented reality, AR, to where you could adopt a pet pretty much, and you could have it like chilling on your desk, like with your camera phone and everything. Yeah. But now the only downside was that was like all it could do, so that gets boring really fucking quick. But being able to incorporate something like that to where your NFTs or something like that, we immediately said, yo, that's kind of a dope idea. Hey, Dan, is this something that we could incorporate into the game at some point? So maybe not on the first iteration, but those type of ideas, like, we are still early enough in game development. Like, we're obviously the levels are being designed, the movements, the algorithms behind it, all of those are being done right now. But if someone came to me and said, hey, I think this would be a really cool idea to develop, if it's already if you know, as long as we're not past the point, if we're able to just kind of throw that in as a side thing, that might be a great idea.
Yeah.
So let us know.
Even if it's an expansion thing later on, once
Exactly.
we get the groundwork and the game released and it becomes popular, then we're gonna look for ways to expand those things and expand things to other gamers who maybe would rather have the augmented reality side of it, or who would rather have, you know, more RPG or more MMO when we talk about multiplayer aspects. Like, there are so many ideas that we can develop this game on, and we can continue to expand. It's just, I mean, right now the focus is let's get the game right and let's get it out there, and then so that everybody can enjoy what we're working on, because we've worked our ass off on it. We want everybody to be able to enjoy this. When we do that, then we're going to look for ways to continue pushing it out there. I mean, like I've said in past AMAs, God of War was game of the year. I want MetaDoge to be game of the year in crypto, if not game of the year in everything. So if we can get it that way, that'd be great. But it's going to take time for some of those developments to happen.
It will, but that's why we talked about kind of the beginning, is that we put it in a position to where there will be expansion packs, to where we get that hype and everything, and now there's new meta zones that just opened up with new elements and new NFT types and everything. Like, all of that can be done from the groundwork that we're bringing, and that's what we want, is for people to, you know, in 6 months, when they've beaten every single aspect that they can, to come back for more, because they're addicted to it. It's the same thing they've done with Pokemon for years. HSYN is correct in the chat. Thank you, HSYN.
Nice.
Albert Hoffman, thanks for the great answers. Last question: is there any future plans for a separate token for the MetaDoge? For example, Separate Metaverse game has 2 different tokens, one for the game, one for the ecosystem.
Wait, which token was that?
It was like Steppen, STEPN.
Okay.
I actually
2 different.
Yeah, Dom and I talked about that actually the other day. That was he brought that up as a possibility. We don't want to go that route unless we need to for a liquidity aspect of it, or in case for bridging reasons or whatever it may be. We don't want to go that route yet, just because it takes more technicalities to build to do it right, and all of our resources are tied up in game development. So we would like to have the economy just flow through MetaDoge itself. Now, in the beginning, what we may do is where you can't, because the economy is going to be obviously within the game, you can't just take like your 10 million MetaDoge tokens you have and just dump them into the game, and now you can buy every item that exists. It's going to be an outward withdrawal only. Maybe you can buy some items on the marketplace outside of that and import those in, but you will not be able to just like dump 150 million worth of tokens and just buy the game out.
We don't want 5 or 10 users like whales, right, to just be able to own the whole game immediately, and that becomes no fun for anybody, right? Especially if we start to incorporate the multiplayer MMO aspect to this game. We don't want folks who are just leaps and bounds beyond everybody else because they had more money than somebody else. That's great for them, not great for a game.
Yeah, we don't want this to be a pay to win game by any means. Like, we want you to have the ability, just like the Pokemon card game. Is that pay to earn? I mean, technically, if you buy booster packs and you unlock some cool cards from doing it, I mean, you know, technically it's pay to win, but we want it to be where you have to spend your money on NFTs and it's random just with everyone else, not where you can just dump in 150 million MetaDoge tokens and just take over the entire economy. Like, that's not fun, because we do want to incorporate multiplayer aspects, an arena. We'll get to that later. But yeah, so I hope that answers your question, that it is on the table if we're able to build the correct bridge between it to where it would keep the ecosystems like in sync. Because the second that you start incorporating a secondary token, it could really kind of mess up the other token if it's not bridged correctly. So we don't want to go that route unless we have to.
Well, and you got to think from that aspect too, like if they're not of equal value at any point, like if the bridge aspect exists and one of them is less valuable in the real world versus the other one, then you're able to buy and sell things at a different cost, and it just that would mess up economics, right? Like, and I feel like we've always, as the MetaDoge dev team, we've always prided ourselves on, hey, this is a free market, right? So we want things to be as equal as possible. Equilibrium exists in crypto, I think, pretty well versus at least from my experience in like stock market or American markets and stuff like that. So we want to make sure that that is still at the core of everything, that everyone has equal playing field, as much as possible in our system. Outside of that, do whatever you want. But in this, I'm hesitant to say that that would be something that we would definitely push for unless it was necessary.
So, last question that came through, HSYN asked, when will we play our game? Don't have an official release date yet. If I had to say, we're still on the roadmap. I believe the roadmap says a beta release in like July, game release late August, September. That's still, we're on pace for that. Obviously, anything can happen if somebody comes up with a great idea that we need to incorporate into the game. Anything can happen. Coronavirus could happen again.
Right.
Anything could happen, but those are the timelines that we are working with right now. So this trailer is hopefully going to build us some hype over the next couple months. We can maybe hopefully build out an alpha or something. The last thing we want to do is, it's really, really hard with game development. We could have an alpha build of the game probably ready in like a month or so. The problem is that if you put that out there for people to play and they don't comprehend that it's an alpha, that there's going to be a lot of bugs, it's not going to look nearly as pretty and everything, then they're going to say this game sucks and they're going to go on to the next thing. So if you can't, it's a really fine line you have to do. Like beta normally is like, here's a good build of the game, we just want you to beta test it to see what we should fix. That's a much easier baseline. So we'll consider an alpha if we played and we're like, okay, this is a product we feel good putting out there to build hype. But if we play it and we're like, nah, we won't need to wait till the graphics are refined a little bit and make it more of a beta stage, you're going to be looking more like July.
I mean, and there's nothing to say that there's, I mean, I won't go so far as to say we wouldn't at least share it with you. I mean, we have overstepped boundaries, I think, at this point to share information with you. So say we do come out with an alpha and we want to test it. We want to make sure that it's good, but we will also want to keep you in the loop for sure. You know, maybe a live stream where we put the alpha out there, maybe some gameplay of that too. That's not out of the cards. I don't think that's not out of question, I guess. So
if you guys, if the community would be open to it, once we get a build of the game, like set, ready, algorithms in place and stuff, I think we could live stream a little bit of the game to you guys. If that's something that you would want, but you got to let us know in the chat.
Well, and I will say that I don't know how many here have, and how many ever people listen to this afterwards have had experience with other crypto games, but from what I've seen so far, they're not good, and they're very plain, they're very boring, they're very do the minimal amount of work to get people to build hype. That is not what we're doing here. We are not trying to put out a shit game for you guys to go, oh yeah, this is great for 10 seconds and then it sucks, and build minimal amount of hype and then we sell. Like, that's not what we're doing here. We are putting out something that you're gonna go, holy shit, I'm knocked off of my feet from this. I'm gonna tell everybody about this regardless if they're in crypto or not, to hit on your point earlier. If they have never invested in crypto, we want them to want to invest in crypto because they want to be able to play this game.
Exactly. They want to be able to, hopefully, well, not hopefully, definitely. You can only buy the NFTs to get the new cars and stuff like that. Like, you can earn some in game. You can defeat some, I'll just say bosses for right now, just to keep it vague. You can defeat things to earn NFTs to get you stronger in the game. Again, being vague. But if you really want to get a leg up, if you really want to, you're gonna buy a booster pack. You're gonna see what NFTs that you draw out of there, and how you can better your character to go out and fight or to breed and whatnot. Those are things that you're going to need to do. Again, you can do anything without spending a dime if you want to. Like, this is a true play to earn game. It's not going to be pay to win, but there are benefits to buying the NFTs, obviously, and making your character stronger. It's designed to be that way. So that way you will get people to be like, well, I want to buy some NFTs. How do I do it? Can I just pay with money? No, you got to buy some MetaDoge. And now that money, once they buy it, is cycled back into the game. Like, it's no longer a staking NFT where they can now withdraw that money and sell it off, randomly. They're buying that NFT, which is used as an in-game avatar. It's not staking. And that's money that goes back to us, and that helps the floor just rise and rise and rise until, before you know it, MetaDoge is $1. There you go. That's
Now,
the
who was
thought.
it earlier that said we were going to be at $1?
Bam! That's where it was earlier.
Yeah. That's what we're hoping.
It was Hero Electric.
Hero, I want to be your hero. We want to be your hero. Let's get it to $1. I mean, that's the goal, right? I mean, $20, $100, whatever it is, like that's the goal. The goal is not only to put out a great, fantastic game, but at the end of the day, investors are rewarded, and we're all here for that. So that's what we're going to try to do.
So, if there's no other questions, which doesn't look like any have come across through YouTube, voice chat. Here's your spot. I'm going to mute real quick. If anybody in the voice chat wants to say anything, wants to ask a question, now is your time because we're about to fade to black here in a second. So I'm going to mute just for a minute, all right? YouTube, you can ask your questions in the chat or just bask in the glory of the screenshot. Whichever way you want to go about it is fine with me. Voice chat's always so quiet.
Yeah.
They never want to talk. That's okay. That's okay. A lot of them are over here chatting anyway in the YouTube chat, so good. All right. Well, with that being said, we are going to go ahead and retire. As always, from Public Relations, I am Owen. This is my brother Tyler. MetaDoge to the moon, guys. Catch you later. All right?
I just got rich. Well, this MetaDoge 5. Yeah. If you don't got a coin in your wallet, you broke. I said what I said. Hey, my doge not like yours. My doge is the first. You are just a meme. My doge got a metaverse. My doge not like yours. Tell him I said it.
Facts. My doge not like yours. My doge is the first. You are just a meme. My doge got a metaverse. My doge not like yours. My doge is the first. You are just a meme. My doge got a metaverse. Meta doge, 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 meta doge. I just struck it rich. Too much money, it can't fit in my pocket. Meta doge, flip it, watch me hold. NFT, I got one gold. We be lit like the stove. All these paper hands exposed. That's my doge, I cannot fold. Hey, I've been trapping doge off in the metaverse. MetaDoge, history made, we did it first. I can't make this up, ain't no right rehearse. We got all the drip, we gon' quench they thirst. My doge not like yours, my doge is the first. You are just a meme, my doge got a metaverse. My doge not like yours, my doge is the first. You are just a meme, my doge got a metaverse. Meta doge, 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 big dog, boss doge and metaverse. I bought friends, NFTs, stake them, gotta get them first. Once she dip, I buy the dip, it come up, she can get her purse. Don't you wait until it's listed, you should go and get it first. Dog, I'm certified, check my status, ask about me. We been shaking up the market, that's no lie. Ricky Bobby, they gon' duplicate and try. Roger that, copy. I'm a big dog, off the leash, chest out, cocky. My doge not like yours, my doge is the first. You are just a meme, my doge got a metaverse. My doge not like yours, my doge is the first. You are just a meme, my doge got a metaverse. Meta doge, 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 meta doge.
Slime, I'ma put y'all on to something real quick. Know what I'm saying? You gotta put this coin in your pocket. That's not you broke. Go to MetaDoge.live. That's MetaDoge.live. For bruh. Get you some money. LNJ. You can find me in the metaverse with my MetaDoge, you dig? It's a leak.